Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa and this is Melissa Knits for Fun. Well, today we have a little bit of a different episode, and you might notice that I'm recording somewhere different. And I am in my living room sitting in front of one of my couches. You see a little bit of the chaos behind us, but I have all of this beautiful Holst Garn yarn. And this is not all of it because down here is all of my Supersoft. So I thought that today, to go with the sister video where I gave you a review about all the Holst Garn yarns, what I've made, and how those garments have held up and how they have worn, I thought I would go through my stash just a little bit. I'm just going to cover my Holst Garn stash today. So I don't have everything because most everything I have is a sweater quantity. So if I have a sweater quantity of Titicaca or Lucia or in the little 50-gram balls, I only brought one of them. Obviously, I brought the cones. That's a sweater quantity, but it's one thing. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I want you to let me know in the comments if you've used the Holst Garn yarns. If you have any of these colors, what you think about them. And I just want to say, guys, I'm going to tell y'all about Supersoft, and I'm going to tell you what I always tell you. The first time that I heard Supersoft and I touched this yarn, I laughed. I was thinking Supersoft, it's going to be like a super wash merino soft. It's going to be so soft. It is not that soft. Now, I will tell you this softens up over time with wear and washing. And it is much more rustic in the skein or on the cone than I think it is after you wash it, because this has spinning oil, as do all of the yarns. They have spinning oil on them. So you really have to get the spinning oil out in order to make the yarn bloom and become fluffier and become nicer and just an overall nicer, softer, bouncier yarn. Now, these are rustic yarns. Think Jamieson and Smith, Jamieson's a Shetland, any kind of Shetland yarns, JC Rennie, etc. And that's basically the feel of these. But when you block them, they look, let me tell you, they look pretty ragged when you're knitting them up, because the first time I knit one up, I thought, oh, what have I done? This is not good. This is not going to look right. And then and that was just in a swatch. But then I went and I washed it. And what I do with mine is I put the garment, the swatch, whatever it is that I'm blocking, in not hot water, but warmer than lukewarm. And I add Dawn dishwashing detergent. I think it would be fairy detergent if you're over in the UK. I'm not sure what it would be in Australia, New Zealand, or anywhere like that. But it is just a dishwashing soap that says it takes out grease. And I put that in there. I soak it for about 15 minutes. Then I drain it. And then I step it down. I put it into then kind of lukewarm water, then down to tepid water, and finally into cold. I do this over about an hour. And to me, it gets all of the spinning oil out, and it makes it so beautiful. I then rinse it, and I will throw it in the washing machine to spin out everything, and then I lay it flat to dry. Now, that's the first time. Usually after that, I will throw it in the washing machine. These do actually tell you that you can put them in the washing machine on wool wash. I think it says, it said somewhere, I saw it on the website, I think, that it says that you can put them on there on like a wool washer, delicate and cold water. And that's what I do. So far, I've had no problems, but take that with a grain of salt, because my washer is not your washer. So I do not want to be responsible for, your garment being ruined because your washing machine was different. So you do whatever you're comfortable with. Don't take advice from me as far as how to care for your hand knits, because for me, unless it's really, really special like cashmere, I don't get too fussed about it because I can always knit another one. All right, and having said that, let me also say, I am not sponsored in this video. Holst Garn has not sent me any of this yarn for free, with the exception of one. I think I had, I ordered a cone and they threw in a ball or something like that. Anyway, it was a mistake in the order itself. And I had placed a large order and they had just accidentally thrown a ball in there that I did not order. So they have never sent me free yarn. They've never reached out to me and asked me to do a review. They've never asked me to show their yarns. So this is in no way, shape, form, or fashion sponsored. I have spent my own money on all of this. Okay. So having said that, let me get started with telling you the colors. I'm going to start with Supersoft. It is what I have the most of, and it is also, I believe, their flagship line. This right here, and I'm trying to make this to where that you can really see the color. It is a deep, dark hunter green. I mean, it is beautiful. I know it looks kind of black, but it is not black. That is just a deep, dark hunter green. It is absolutely beautiful. And this one is Cossack, C-O-S-S-A-C-K. I could not get this on a cone last Black Friday, or I would have a cone of this, and it is, I might wind up with a cone of this as well. I do have 5 balls of this. All right, and then ones that I bought for the old compass, I got one of the suggestions that Holst Garn had put out with the pinks, and it also has elderberry and oatmeal. I'm not sure if there's any other ones, but I know I had some of the yarns already. But I just got these because I wasn't sure if I would want an entire cone of them. I do think I want an entire cone of this sweet pea. I think that is beautiful. I don't know if you can see, it's got some heathering in it. It's really, really, really pretty. Right now, I've got 2 balls of this. This may be a cone for me later. We shall see. I don't know if I'd want a whole sweater in that, though, is the only thing. This right here is Gold Crest. I can tell you this will probably be the only that I ever have in my stash because I am not a yellow or gold lover, but this will be a beautiful contrast for that old compass. Then this one here, which also may wind up being a cone because I may get some of the Lucia to go with this as well. And this is Damask. It also has some heathering. I'm not sure if you can see, but it is just beautiful. It's this purpley. It reminds me a lot of the orchid in the Holst Garn Tides, and that is one of my favorite colors. Okay. And then one more that I have and I actually have 6 balls of this. I bought this one. This is Ecru. So this is let me hold this up. I have bleached white, and it is just a little bit different. You can see this has a little bit more of a yellow base than this one. But I bought this back, I bought this and a ball of bleached white and a cone of the really dark brown, which is coffee, in order to do one of that Zanette Knits cardigans, and I don't remember the name of it. I'll stick it down here. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the bleached white or the ecru, so I got both of them so that I could see. And then later, I forget why I got the other ones, but I wound up with 5 other ones for another project. And so I have 6 of these in my stash. And then, as I said, I have bleached white. I have another whole cone of this. This is what's left over from doing some other projects, and I just knew that with color work and all that I would use a lot of this, so I went ahead while it was on sale last year and bought another whole cone. And then I do have some wound off because I had held it double in a project, and so I have some left there as well. So I've got not 2 full cones, but I'd say a cone and a half of this, and as I said, this is the bleached white. And then I'm going to go through my other partials. So this, I do have another full cone of this as well. This is Space. This might be my absolute favorite color in all 105 colors. Now, having said that, I haven't seen them all in person, but I have seen the majority of them on a shade card. And I will tell you, this is one of my favorite colors. It also really reminds me of Blue Tit from Knitting for Olives, so there might be that. That is my favorite color over there. I am really, really drawn to this color. And as you can see, it's just so beautiful. It's got such a depth of color that you just can't see. It's got kind of a dark undertone. It is just absolutely stunning. All right, and then Sapphire, this is one of the ones that I held double as well. So I do have some of this spun off as well. And this one's, there we go. it was all messed up. But I have it some spun off as well, but I held this with the bleached white for one of the projects that I showed you on the other channel, and this is the colorway Sapphire. I will tell you, this looks much deeper and darker on the website than it does in person, but I absolutely love this color. Look at that, it's definitely got some heathering going on, which just makes it absolutely stunning. And I cannot wait. I may actually I may make a complete sweater out of just one strand, or I might try to find some mohair to hold with this, because this is just a stunning, stunning color. All right, and then another one that is, it doesn't look like a partial cone, but guys, this is a partial cone because I have an entire sweater out of this held with the Lucia. And this right here is the colorway Burnt Orange. And guys, I really do wish that y'all could feel this, because while, yes, it is rustic, it's not itchy. It's just, it kind of feels dry. And to me, it feels pretty soft. So I really, really like this. This is beautiful. And holding it with the Lucia in the papaya, oh my gosh. It makes such a beautiful, beautiful combination. And I will have another sweater in that before it's all said and done. Now, here is one that I never, ever, ever thought I would ever get a cone of, and that is oatmeal. But I wound up with this cone because I am not positive with the old compass if this is going to be a contrast and this is going to be the background and I'm going to do a dark old compass, or if I'm going to do it with this as the background and then the elderberry will be a contrast. I haven't completely decided, and that's why I went ahead and got a cone of this. I already had the elderberry, but I went ahead and got a cone of this. And man, again, I wish that y'all could feel this because it's so squishy down here. I just love these cones. This is oatmeal, and I don't think it does a whole lot for me, but I don't think it completely washes me out. I think this would be absolutely beautiful with some mohair and maybe even a colored mohair. I don't know. This one I might play around with, or I might use it and then destash what's left. I don't know, because guys, this has a whole lot of yardage on it. It's like 4,000 and some odd yards or meters. So it's got a whole lot. I will have some left over. All right. And let's see, I'm going to try not to take like 2 hours to do this. So I'm going to speed up just a little bit. And now that I am back to pretty much my full cones, with the exception of this one, I did spin some of this off because I am about to cast on that colorwork sweater. And this is going to be the ribbing, and I am going to hold it double. And this is the colorway Mariner. I just spun off like 50 grams of it, or not even 50 grams. I think it was 41 grams. So it wasn't a whole lot. So this is a little bit of a partial cone, but it's pretty much full cone. And this is also one of my favorite colors. Look at how beautiful that is. I love a really pretty navy, and it is such a beautiful navy. And you can see it's very different from that. This definitely has more of a green undertone than this one. This one's more of a pure blue. Cannot wait to see this knit up on that colorwork sweater. All right, now I am going to switch to, let's do some colorways. So I'm going to stick with like the burgundies now. This one here is aubergine. So this is in the purple burgundy. And it's just stunning. I mean, obviously I love all of these colors or I wouldn't have bought them, right? Now, there's also, this is elderberry. And you might think, oh, Melissa, those are really close. But those are not really close. This one is more of a true like burgundy with a brown undertone, and this one definitely has more of a purple undertone. But look at how pretty those go together. I won't pair them together. It's too low contrast for me, but they are definitely both going to be in the colorwork sweater. And I will stick a little picture up at the end of this segment. I'll stick a little picture up of the colorways that I decided to use for that colorwork sweater. They are just stunning. All right, and now continuing on with kind of the purple theme. This one here is called Divine. And this one, to be honest, is a little more muted than I expected it to be, but it is a absolutely stunning purple. I love purple, I love pink, I love red, I love green, I love blue. So I have a lot of those. I do need some lighter shades in my stash, but this is probably one of the lightest purples that I have in my stash. Well, I have one other one as far as the Supersoft goes. And this one, I may grab some mohair eventually, or I think that there is a Lucia that might go with this. And I've got to take this up to Letha's and see, because she has that Lucia in her stash. And then my final purple is this right here, and this is Hyacinth. And I'm gonna try to get it to where you can see this has so much depth. It's just got different colors in it. It's got some pinks and some blues, and I wish that I could do this. This is a lot like that JC Rennie yarn that I had so much trouble getting it to where that y'all could see all the colors in it, that Oogie Pearl. But this is just beautiful, just like that. It's got a lot of heathering in it with some different colors, some blues and some pinks, etc. It is going to be really, really stunning knitted up. All right, now I'm going to pivot over to pinks. And this one could be classified as a purple or a pink. This is a pink to me. It's a pure pink. This is magenta. Y'all have seen this before, but not in its cone form. I did use this along with the next one I'm going to talk about on my Foster Rihanna pullover that I used. This was one of the contrast colors. And then my other pure pink that I have in is this right here. And this is Carnation? No, Peony. Or Peony, however you want to say it. I am in the South, so either one goes. If I'm talking about the flowers, I typically say Peony. But when I'm talking about the color, I typically say Peony. I don't know why. But whichever way you want to pronounce it, it is a absolutely beautiful pink. And this one were the two contrast colors that were in my Foster Rihanna. And so they're just beautiful. And I have mohair that will go with this, that I plan to hold with this and knit maybe a Monday sweater, maybe a Ruby Raglan, something that will call for a fingering and a mohair held together. That would be a fairly plain raglan or something. I don't know, maybe a little bit of cables thrown in or something. But that is going to be held with mohair. All right, now I'm going to switch to reds, just because I think that is a logical movement from pinks. This one right here is one of my very, very favorite reds, and this is called Venetian. It is deep and dark and rich, and I mean, just look at that stunning, stunning color. It is so, so pretty. And again, they're so squishy here at the bottom. I really wish that if you ever have the chance to get your hands on one of these cones, just do it, because it is really a lot softer than you would expect it to be for a rustic yarn. All right, and then another pure red. This is Cardinal, and this is just a really, really pure red. It does not have an orange undertone, even though right now that's what it looks like. It doesn't have an orange undertone. It is much more like a cardinal bird, like a cardinal red. And honestly, I got this when they named it. I mean, I wanted it when they first teased it. But when they named it, I absolutely had to get it, because my dad's favorite bird was a cardinal, and my dad's favorite baseball team was the St. Louis Cardinals. So therefore, of course, I had to get a yarn that was named Cardinal, and I do not regret it. And this, I actually think I'm going to either hold this with Lucia, or maybe some of that Lula Knits that I got, that red, that is just so, so pretty, or maybe a red mohair. I do have some red mohair coming. And so I am probably going to hold that with something and make what else? A pullover. Maybe a cardigan, but probably a pullover. All right, and then another one that is in the red family, I would say. This could have been part of the pink or the purple, but this is called Cranberry. Now this one and the next one that I'm going to show you, they weren't as saturated as I expected them to be. They were a little bit more muted than I expected, but oh boy, do I really love that color. I mean, it is just so pretty. It'll look beautiful in color work. It will look beautiful on its own. I may hold it double and do some kind of cabled pattern, because I think this would be a absolutely stunning cabled sweater. And then I'm going to switch to greens. And this is the other one. This is the Kingfisher. Make sure. Yep, it's Kingfisher. This to me is more of a green. It's looking more blue on there, but okay, if I bring it back here, I think it looks a little bit more green. It is more of a tealy color. It's a little bit more muted than I expected it to be, a little bit more heathered, but I think it is stunning, and I have many, many plans for this. And then my last green is this one right here, and this is called Tundra. And this I got because I could not get the Cossack in a cone. And so I decided I'd get Tundra, and then I decided I had to have the Cossack anyway because they were just so different. Look at that. Look how different they are. But they're both equally stunning. So I am not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. So if you have, if you have any suggestions about any of the yarns that I'm showing you, just let me know. But I'm not sure what I'm going to make out of this, but I am going to make something out of this for sure. Hold it single, double, or with mohair. Just don't know yet. And then last but not least, and I do have a plan for this, this is Coffee. And I bought this. This was my very first Holst Garn cone. So this was the gateway into the, oh my gosh, I need all of the cones. And this is Coffee. And I bought this to make that cardigan by Zanette Knits. It's a steeked cardigan, and I knew that this would be really good for steeking. And I wanted a brown and white cardigan. Now this has been a few years in my stash and just waiting for me to pick it up and knit it. So I really do need to get that done. But oh, there are so many patterns in so little time. All right, guys, I'm going to take just a quick little break. I'm going to swap out. I'm going to switch out my Supersoft for my Coast and my Tides, and I'm going to put this all up there. And then I'm also going to check on my potatoes that I've got boiling, and I will be right back. All right, I am back, and I have Coast on this side and Tides on this side. Now, you see I've got the Supersoft back there because, I had to put it somewhere. I couldn't have it all out here. And I will tell you, I forgot to tell y'all, the Supersoft is 50% merino and 50% Shetland wool. It is 100% wool. And if you had asked me before I started doing this video and before I decided I had to pull everything off my shelves because I was looking to see what colors I wanted to use for that color work sweater, and so I'd pulled out all the Supersoft and decided, hey, I should do a video showcasing all my Holst Garn yarns that I have. And so that led me to bringing out all the rest of this. But if you'd asked me before I did all of that, which line I had the most of, I would have told you that I had more cones in Coast than I did in anything else, because I really thought I did. I don't. I have more cones in Supersoft than I have in Coast. Now, I may still have the same amount of yarn because I do have several that I just have balls in. And I'm going to start with those. I'm going to start this one right here, Jade. I only have one ball of this. I believe Sue at the knitting shop bought the rest of them that Letha had. And so I told her that if she needed more, I would just give this to her. If she does not need more, then I'll probably hold on to this and use this as something to do with color work or something as a contrast color. But this is the Jade, and Holst Garn Coast is a blend of 55% wool and 45% cotton. And it is extremely soft, and I think this is just a beautiful color. It's a nice pretty blue, even though it says Jade, which makes me think it should be green. It does, in my opinion, lean more blue. And then next up, I have Wisteria, which is this gorgeous purple, and you can see it's kind of got a little bit of a heathering. It's got some white in there. It's got a little bit of depth. I really like this, and I do have a sweater quantity of this. I am planning to make a Tolsta tee out of this. I think this is going to be the one that I hold single-stranded and make a long-sleeved Tolsta tee out of it, the 4-ply. So that's the plan for this yarn. Then, moving on, I have this that is Fauna, and it's this really, really pretty green color, and I am using this, I'm holding this with some Titicaca, And I am making my friend Shauna a Saharan V-neck sweater. And so that has shown up on the podcast before, so you've seen these two yarns together, and it will be coming back soon. As soon as I get a few things off the needles, I'll start working on my gift knits again. But so I am currently using this, and I bought this specifically for Shauna. This is not one of my colors, but this is definitely one of her colors that she really, really likes. I do think it's beautiful. I just don't think it does anything for me. And so I would not knit this for myself, but I was really happy to be able to knit with it. And so I was happy that Shauna wanted a sweater in this color. And then another one that I really did not think that I would ever get, but I did get a couple of balls of this. And this is powder. And it is a beautiful pink. It's actually showing up a little bit pinker on screen than it actually is. It's a little dustier than what it's showing up. But I got a couple of these to use in color work as contrast. I may get more. Letha has some more of these. And I may pick up some more of these at Yarn Crawl so that I could use it as the background color and use some of the others for contrast. That might make an absolutely stunning combo. All right. Then I have one ball of black. This is actually, yeah, it's black. That's the name of it. It's not licorice, it's black. I have one ball of this, and I got this because I have a Monday sweater that is made out of this and the Lucia held together. And out of the scraps, I made myself some penny gloves. Well, I used all of it. And then I thought, well, what am I going to do if I have to repair my Monday sweater? I don't have anything to repair it with. So I went ahead and picked up a ball of this and a ball of the Lucia. So this is just black, and it is black. I mean, it's a nice, dark, deep black. It's like ink, right? So I really, really do like this. And this is a really soft yarn, guys. This is one that I think that even people who have a bit of sensitivity to yarns might be able to wear this, because I don't think that it is rustic at all. I really think that it's soft. So this here is petrol. And I used to have teal, which was really close to this color, but I used it all in a Tulsa tea. So I've got this right here that is petrol. I love this color. I don't know why. Well, I do know why I didn't buy a cone of it, because I actually bought this from Letha. So I do need to check and see if she has any more of this, because I do really, really, really like this. And if she has any more, I would pick those up. All right. And then I have this here that is, and I don't know, this, I have seen this on other people's podcasts, and I'm telling you, it looks so vibrant on their cameras that I kept going, what is that color? It's so bright and everything. And it's just not as vibrant in real life or on my camera. It is slightly pinker than what it's showing up on the camera. Let's see if I can pull it back. And the lighting's changed a little bit because I did have to eat supper and stuff like that. So, but this is cherry, and it's a beautiful pink. I'm not sure if I'm gonna hold mohair with this or not, or if I'm just gonna hold it double. I've got 6 balls of this, so I should be able to hold it double. All right, and then I've got 2 here that I bought this with the matching Titicaca because I am gonna hold them together. And this one right here is just beautiful. It's crimson, and it is actually redder than that. It looks a little bit orange in my camera, but it's not. I'm trying to see. I mean, it's not as red as Cardinal, but it's not too far off, right? It is definitely redder than what it's showing up on camera. I love this, and the Titicaca that goes with it is extremely beautiful as well. You'll see those here in just a few minutes. And I plan on holding those double. I do have a plan for this. I don't remember which pattern it is I'm gonna make. But if y'all are interested in seeing all of that, you can go look at my stash. I have these assigned to patterns. And that's on Ravelry. And then one of my favorite colors, cobalt. Look at that. It's actually a little bit darker than what's showing up right now, but oh, boy, it is just beautiful. I bought this with the Titicaca to match as well because I'm going to hold those two together. If y'all have been watching my podcast at all, you know that I love a deep, you know, like a cobalt electric blue, and then that deep dark like space or blue tit by Knitting for All of that kind of blue. So I really, really love blues, and I love the really electric blue or the really deep moody blues. All right, and staying with blues, this is the very first cone of Coast that I ever bought. And this is called J. I love this color. This is, I kept going back to it and kept going back to it and kept going back to it until finally I said, okay, Melissa, you have to order that. So I think it was last year, Black Friday was the first time, I think, that I bought Coast, and I got this one immediately. And I actually am planning on using it to, and I could have sworn that I had a cream colored Coast. It could still be on the shelf that I have not gotten it. But anyway, I have planned on doing a colorwork sweater with this. And so that's still the plan. I did, like I said, really think that I had a cream colored Coast, but I can't find it now. But that would be really pretty together. So maybe I'll use this instead. Again, this is one of those blues that I really, really love. It's kind of like the space. It's not quite as deep and moody, but I sure do love blues. And then going from there, we'll switch to green. And this is sea green. And this, I have plans for a couple of sweaters out of this. I am going to hold this with the matching Titicaca and make a Saharan V-neck, because when Shauna and I go on our Scandinavian trip, I'm going to wear this color and she will wear this color, so we'll both have green and we'll be able to wear matching sweaters. And then the other thing I'm going to do with it is I'm going to hold it with the matching Lucia, which is a deeper green, and I'm going to make a Monday sweater out of that. So this will be 2 sweaters, and I suspect I'll have a little bit left over as well. And then staying in the green colorway, this is one that nobody would have guessed that I would have gotten, but I do actually like this color, and it's a little bit greener than what it's showing on screen. It's not quite as dark as a matcha, but it leans in that direction, and this is lime. And I also got Titicaca to go with this. Every month, or not every month, but every season they put specific colors on sale, and they usually put those colors on sale in Supersoft, Coast, Titicaca, used to be Tides, but they've discontinued Tides. We'll get to that in a minute. The Lucia, any colors that they have, any of the lines that they have in those colors, and they put this and the Titicaca on sale, and so I got that along with this next one that kind of leans yellow, but I thought I could maybe do some kind of color work with this. Okay, this is lemongrass, and it is a little bit more yellow than what is showing up on the screen, but this is a really great neutral, so I think that would go with it. I'm pretty sure this J would go with it. So there's a lot of different options, and I bought the Titicaca to go with this as well. So I could do a color work with Coast and Titicaca held together. I could do just a straight sweater, whatever I want to do. All right. Then I'm going to pivot into some reds, and then we'll get to purple and brown. Almost done with Coast. See, I don't have near as many Coast as I do Supersoft. This is Bourgogne. I can't say that word. It's like the beef. Anyway, the beef dish. I can't say that word. I'm just not going to say that word. But it's burgundy. It does lean a little bit rustier than burgundy in my opinion. But I do really, really like this color. And I actually have some some Titicaca that goes with it, and I am going to do a colorwork sweater with this. And I told you that I was going to tell you about another red one, but guess what? This one's a super soft. I don't know how it wound up down here. It goes up there. All right, then we'll move into purple, and you may be thinking, oh, that's super soft too. That's the Divine, but it is not. You would be wrong. This is Passion Flower, and it is Coast. It is a very close color to Divine. They do usually have some very similar colors in the different bases. All right, so this is Passion Flower, and I thought but that is Hyacinth. I was like, that looks like one of my coasts, but no, it is right here. And this is Freesia, and these two are going to be a Zanette Knits colorwork sweater. I don't remember exactly which one, but again, if you go look on my Ravelry stash and you go look at this, you'll find it because it's assigned in there. And this is just a very, very beautiful light purple. And I might be able to hold that mohair that I got from Kelborn Woolens with this as well and make another sweater. This is at least 2 sweaters worth. And then last but not least, I have this brown colorway. And this is called Conquer. And it is a little bit more muted, but what I would probably do is hold it with some mohair, or, you know, like a darker mohair, or some Titicaca or something that's a little bit darker so that it would darken this up a little bit. And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to make out of this, but I will find something to make out of this because I do really like the color. It's not quite chocolatey, but it is a really, really pretty brown. And that is it with the Coast. Yeah, because that one's super soft. Like I said, I sure thought that I had a white color. I probably do. In fact, I know I do. I'll get up and get it. In fact, let me just pause. Let me go grab those. I said I had 6 balls of that accrue. I think that was my Coast that I was looking at. Well, I was right. I should not doubt my instincts whenever it comes to my yarn stash. I know what I have, and I don't know why. I thought I had a cone, but I don't have a cone. I have, I think, 5 of these. And I have 5 of this color right here is accrue. And it is an off-white. This is what I'm planning to use for the color work. Although, like I said, I could also use this one. So I'll put a picture up here of what I'm planning on making out of it. And you can let me know if you think I should go with the off-white or the powder pink. All right. And then while I was in there, I found a couple of other things. I don't know how I missed grabbing this. This is Plum. And it is just a nice purpley, pinky. I don't know for sure if I'm going to hold this double and make a long sleeved. Although I think I'm probably going to hold Tide's double to make a long sleeve Tosta. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this, but it will definitely make a top of some sort. I mean, that's what I make, right? So it's just a nice, Plum is a great descriptor for it. And then I found another one that I thought this was petrol, although whenever I hold it up next to petrol, I think they are just a touch different. And this one I got in a kit. It was one of the specials that they had where it had this and Titicaca in it. And the Titicaca was Tiffany. But this just says Coast Summer Edition 2024. And now that they have pop-up colors on their website, they have one called Neptune, and I suspect, because it looks like this, I suspect that this is actually Neptune, which, in my opinion, like I said, it's really, really close to petrol. So I'm not sure that it's worth investing in both of them. But I do have this one that came in a kit. All right, so that is it for my Coast. Now we're going to move on to my current heartbreak, and that is Holst Garn Tides, one of my very favorite bases that they have, and they have discontinued it. I understand that they have to move on to other things, So I am having trouble letting go and moving on. So I have bought some extra, but I already had quite a bit of it in my stash. So I will start with little partial cones here because I've got 3 here that I have used extensively. This is the turquoise, and I did buy a few balls to supplement this because I want another sweater out of this. I have a Monday sweater that I held this double for, and I just love this color. I may wind up buying another cone of this because I love it so much. And it is just this beautiful, as you can see, not all of them, because I do have a couple down here that don't have it, but most of the Tides has that kind of white looking, it's that silk. It's not quite a silk net for like a tweediness, but it is a little bit of a heathered look, and they've all got that little whiteness, or most of them anyway. So this is the turquoise. I wish you could reach through and feel these. These are so soft. They're dry, but these are soft. I would really be surprised if somebody, even sensitive, could not wear this. It is, in my opinion, very, very soft. And this right here is Nightshades. I was not able to get my hands on any more of this, but I have another partial cone that's this size. So I have plenty to make myself something. I held this double and made my brother the Handsome sweater. He loves it. It looks great on him. And I am very, very glad that I have enough of this to make something for myself because, like I said, I have another whole cone that is the same size. But this sold out right away. I was not able to get my hands on any of it. So very, very glad that I already had that. And then the other one that I have as much as well, because this is one that I held double to make the oatmeal sweater by Casual Knit Studio. I held it double, and this is the colorway Orchid. And it is just, oh, it is beautiful. Look at that. It's purpley and just, oh, it is, this is definitely one of my favorite colors. And I for sure am holding mohair with this and making something, and then I may have enough to make 2 more things out of it. We'll see what I have left whenever I hold it with mohair. I think they're sold out of this color as well. If not, I might have to get another cone of it as well, or maybe at least a few balls. All right, and then I only have one that I got in balls just because I wasn't quite certain that I wanted a whole cone in it because I wasn't sure exactly. This is maroon, and this is really dustier than I expected it to be. I expected it to be more burgundy. So I will hold a mohair with this to give it some more depth, and I will make something out of this. I've got 5 balls, I believe, of this. And then the other one that I was kind of shocked, and I was not expecting, I was expecting it to be darker, and this leans more gray to me, but this is Forest, and I expected it to be a darker green, but what I will do is I will hold some mohair with it, some darker mohair to try to darken it up, and I will go from there and figure out what I am making, or maybe I'll hold it double because that will probably darken it up just a little bit. All right. Then moving along, I have this color, which is cream. And I bought this so that I could do color work with this stuff if I wanted to. I mean, it's just a great base neutral color. And I don't know, maybe I'll make a cabled sweater out of it too. Never know, but it is always good to have on hand. And I would have bought this if I didn't already have it. I did already have this one. I did not have either one of these, and so I went ahead and grabbed these 2 as well as these next 2, well, as well as the next 3 to make sure that I was able to get them. And like I said, I may wind up buying more Tides because there's some other colors that I really want. We'll see. But I got this one here, and this one is Confetti. And it is just this beautiful light purple. And then I got its sister, and there is one other one as well. That this one is Iris, and there's another one called Viola that I think is also very, very similar to this color. I mean, I kind of want to get it just so I can see. But They're a little different. You can tell they're a little bit different, but they're really, really close in color. And so this is Iris, this is Confetti, and there is a third one, Viola. I don't have every single color in this, but boy, maybe I should. Love this yarn. All right, and then I also got this one here, and this is Mares, I believe. Yep, Mares. And it is very close to the nightshade, not quite as dark, but it is very close, so I feel much better having this in my stash since I could not get my hands on nightshade. So this is absolutely beautiful, and if you are a fan of nightshade and you were like, oh, I didn't get any, I think you'd be really happy with the Mares. All right, and then I only have 3 more of these, and then I will pause again, and I will bring down all of the other yarns, the specialty yarns, whatever you want to call them, but the yarns that don't come on cones. All right, this one here, this is Tudor, and it is, I thought it was more red than this, but it really is more of a raspberry type. Now it is redder than what it's looking like. That is really blowing it out on screen. It is redder than that, but it's definitely a pink leaning red. It's not orangey. It is much pinker than I was expecting, but it is an absolutely beautiful color. And I almost made my oatmeal sweater out of this, but I really wanted that orchid. So I think this is still available as well. I'm not positive though, but this is really, really pretty. And then here is Bloom, and this is just a beautiful pink. I cannot wait to make something out of this. This will probably be held double, and it might become a cabled sweater or a cabled cardigan or something. I really, really, really love that color. And then last but not least, and this is the one that when I got it, I was like, really? That's not the color I would have called that. And it does look pinker than this online, and it is the one that does not have any of those little white nippy things in it. This is called Fuchsia. Just saying, to me, fuchsia is a much brighter pink, so I don't know that I would have called this fuchsia, but it is a really pretty pinky, purpley color that I think I'm gonna hold some mohair with. Well, in fact, I know I'm gonna hold some mohair with and make a top out of it, or sweater. All right, and that does it for the coast and the tides. And so I am gonna break one more time so that I can do another set change, and I'm gonna put my coast and tides back there, and I'm gonna bring all of these, well, I can't reach any. There, all of these, the Titicaca, the Lucia, the Cielo, and the Haya down here so that I can show y'all the colors that I have, and you can see, right, they just go so well. And this is what they mean by perfect match. You can see this is not an exact perfect match, right? They're not the exact same color, but they go together. And so on the website, it tells you that on the Titicaca and Lucia pages, which ones go with which ones, okay? All right, I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And I have done our final set change, and I am going to start with the one that I have the least of, and that is the Haya. This is the only, well, take that back. This is not the only color that I have in this. I will get to that in just a second. But this is the only color I have a sweater quantity in, and this is called Bubbles. And it is, Haya is the 70% baby alpaca, 20% mulberry silk, and 10% yak blend. And I am gonna hold this with this Titicaca and make a sweater that's called the Hayakaka or Titty Haya. I forget the name of it, but it is, these are the yarns that are called for, and so I chose this colorway. All right, now I chose this colorway because the color that I really, really, really wanted, which was the Mules, it is a dark blue. I could not find that, guys. I turned my craft room upside down looking for that single skein. I only have one ball of that in that color. I turned my craft room upside down. Now that I've videoed this, and once I get it out there, it will just be laying right there like it's been there all along, all innocent and stuff. But I have looked everywhere for it and could not find it. So I do have one other color, but I only have one ball in it. This one I have an entire sweater quantity. And this, again, Fill-A-Vision would be great because this is so lusciously soft. Oh my word. Now, I wish that they had more colors than this because their color range is pretty limited. There's not a whole lot of colors that I would knit with in this. But I plan on buying that dark blue, and then there's, I think, a couple of other colors that I'm interested in. But yeah, the foxtail, I think it's called, is an orange one that goes with the this Lucia. So, and this alpaca. So I'll probably wind up with that as well. Because this, and guys, if you have ever felt Holst Garn alpaca silk, that is what this feels like. And it's the same yardage and everything. So it would be a really great sub for that. It is just absolutely stunning. All right, next up, I have 5 colors of Cielo, which is their chainette yarn. And I showed y'all that I have a sweater made out of this one right here. This is Winter White. And this is 42% alpaca, 42% fine merino wool, and 16% polyamide. And it is a chainette, and it stretches nicely. I know Any Knits, she did a Sophie scarf, or a Sophie shawl, I think it was, out of this in a really pretty blue color. But I love my Salty Days sweater in this. It's so comfortable. And I would like to make another one out of another color, and I'll show you the 2 that I'm going to choose from. And those are either the coal, no, not coal, sorry, that's not the right one. This one, which is Cosmos, so it's a deep navy blue, or this one is Chili, I believe. Yeah, Chili and Cosmos, so red and blue. I want to make it out of one of these. I'll probably wind up making the Salty Days out of this navy blue so that I can have a navy blue one. And then I'll probably get an extra ball and maybe an extra ball of this, and I've got some extras of this, and maybe make something red, white, and blue as well. Maybe some kind of scarf or something, I don't know. Maybe a color changing Sophie scarf. But I will do something. I do think that I'm going to make the Salty Days out of this navy. I only have one of each one of these because I bought them to see the colors, and I've just not ever bought any more. And then this one is left over from my Salty Days. Then I have another sweater quantity, which is out of this, I believe it's Pixie. Yep, this is Pixie. It's a beautiful, beautiful pink. And I am making, there is a Twin Knits, I think is the designers. They're twin girls that design knitwear. And one of them, at least I know, just had a baby, so they may be taking a little bit of a break. But they do a lot of designing with like the Cielo and stuff like that. And they have this really pretty cabled sweater that calls for Cielo. And so I'm going to make that, and I'm going to make it out of this pink. And then this last one, Coal, that I said that I was going to show you earlier, it's this really pretty, like anthracite. It's a really pretty deep dark gray. And I am going to make, I think the pattern name may be Darkness. It's a Kim Graves or Hargrave pattern, and this is the back. It's a jacket, and I saw it on Fruity Knitting, and I decided I had to knit it. And I've got the back. I'm trying to get it to where you can see that beautiful halo. It really is stunning. I'm hoping that this is going to fit. I do think it's going to be a little bit small because it is not size inclusive at all. The very largest size I think is going to be a little bit small, but I don't care. It will be, I'll be able to wear it enough to cuddle up in it. I mean, I could just cuddle up with this right now. It is so incredibly soft and scrumptious. So that's what that is going to be. I've got to make the fronts and then sew it together, make the sleeves. It won't be that hard. It's just making myself pick this back up. It's been in hibernation for over a year. All right, then next up is Lucia. And this is Holst Garn's alternative to mohair. Guys, if you're sensitive enough to be sensitive to this yarn, you are never going to be able to wear any fluff. This is the softest fluff ever. Ever. Oh my gosh. It is so scrumptious. It is 42% baby alpaca, 35% mulberry silk, 13% fine merino wool, and 10% yak. It is, I wish that I had pillows made out of this. It is so incredibly pretty. And I do have a sweater quantity of all of these. This one I actually have, this is Poseidon, and I have 2 sweaters that I'm making this, I'm holding this with. One of them I'm holding with Holst Garn Lena, and I'm making a ranunculus. The other one I'm gonna hold with some drops alpaca, and I am making a lento out of that. And if I run out, it's okay, because Letha just got a whole shipment of it. So she's got this color, and hopefully everybody doesn't run down there and buy it. But if so, I can always get more. All right, so this is Poseidon. It's just a beautiful, beautiful blue. Then I have the ganache. Ganache. And that is just a really pretty deep chocolate brown. I mean, it's ganache, just like what it sounds like. And I am gonna hold that with the Coffee Supersoft and make a top out of that, make a sweater in that deep, dark chocolate. Could be a Monday sweater, it could be something else. I don't know yet. This one right here is Papaya, and I have a sweater out of this held with burnt orange. And this may be the leftovers, or I may have bought some more in order to supplement. But anyway, I think I've got a sweater quantity of this, and I plan on holding it with the burnt orange again and making another top out of this. Okay. Or who knows, maybe I'll get some more and I'll hold it double. Then, speaking of holding things double, but also holding it with other things, this, and I know it doesn't have a band on it because I used it to swatch, but this, I know the colorway is Evergreen. And it is so pretty. It is such a beautiful, deep, dark hunter green. And I am going to hold this with the Emerald Coast to make the Monday sweater. And I also have plans to hold it double and make, I think I'm going to make a knit pearl girl. I don't remember exactly which one I'm going to do, but she has, I think it's the Acosta mohair. But anyway, I'm going to hold this double and make one where you hold mohair double. Speaking of holding double, I also have this, which is Lava, and I plan on holding this double as well. And this one, I think is going to be a Valentina Knits. I've got it, like I said, I've got these assigned in my Ravelry stash. I can get more of this. Letha also has this color, so I could grab some more of this if I want to, because it would be really pretty with the cardinal as well, holding it with that, or even holding it with the Tudor. Okay, so I plan on holding it double, but I may wind up with more of it in my stash so I can hold it with something else. Because I have 10 of those, and I have 10 of the green, and I have 10 of this dark blue as well. And I'm probably going to buy the Haya mules to hold with this so that I can make something with those two held together. And then I'll also hold it with something else, and maybe with, well, I'm missing a Titicaca. I do have one other color. It's called Carbon, and we'll see when I get there if I decide that I want to break real quick and run get it. Again, I don't know how I have missed those. I thought I had checked and I knew that everything was in here, but I have so much of it, and I do know what I have. Somebody said earlier, oh, you probably are shocked that you have that much in one brand. Nope, I'm not. I know what I have, and Again, I know when something's missing, but with this one, I'm planning on holding it with the Haya, and I'm probably going to hold it with a Titicaca as well. This is the Mistral, which is just a beautiful, beautiful gray. And I actually swatched for the Sorry Nordland Book Club raglan because she does mohair and alpaca silk, and I swatched with this. I wound up not going with it because I wanted to do that chocolate brown, but look at that. I think I'm going to have to buy some more of this so that I can pair these together and knit something just scrumptious out of it. All right. Or I could hold it with some drops alpaca. And then last but not least, I had this one single solitary ball of the black, which is the colorway Licorice, to hold with the black Coast in case I have to repair my Monday sweater that I have made out of that. All right. Now, moving on to the part that I have the most of. And since I am right here, I am going to go ahead and pause. I'm going to run in the other room. I'm going to find that carbon because I know that I have it that will go with this. And so I'm going to run get that, and then I will come back and I will show y'all the Titicaca. All right, I was right that I had another color. I was wrong about the color name. It's not carbon. And I don't know for sure that I told you the name of this one. This one is Octopus. All right, so now that we have that out of the way, most of these I only have one skein of because I bought them to see what they looked like. And before I committed completely to a sweater quantity worth, some of them I do have a sweater quantity, or I have 10 because I'm going to hold them double or something like that. So I will cover all of those as best as I can remember because, like I said, I do know, but I'm not positive if I have like 3 or 4 of some of them. All right, we'll start out with this beautiful one that is burnt orange. And this is the Titicaca. This is the 100% alpaca, and it is a lace weight yarn. This would be something that you would carry along with something else, just like you do with the mohair. If you've ever used either a Sayer Alpaca 1 or Filcolana Alva, either one of those, this is the same thing. It's the same yardage, it's the same weight, it's the same everything, except for the colors. Okay, and the brand. So this is Holst Garn. I do really, really love this. As you will see, I have a lot of colors. And this is the colorway Burnt Orange. And I think I have 5 of these. I think I have 250 gram, or these, yeah, 50 gram balls. I think I have 250 grams of this. I am planning on holding this with the Burnt Orange in the Supersoft and making a top out of it. I don't know whether it will be, I don't know. It'll probably be just a plain sweater, but it may not. I really love plain sweaters, but we'll see. It might be a cabled top. It might be some other kind of textured top. It might be something else. I don't know. But it will tell me what it wants to be, and I will hold that with that. This one I have, I think, 2 or 3, and this, which is the Venetian, these 2 are going to become the Rosy sweater by Lynette, I think it is. But it's that one, that beautiful one that everybody has complained about because they don't like doing color work flat. It doesn't really bother me, so I'll be interested in seeing if that pattern bothers me or not. But it's that beautiful one with the 2 things of roses across, and I thought this would be just absolutely stunning. So I got, this will be the background color, so I have 3, I think it is, of these. I may only have 1 of these because this is just going to be the contrast. And the yardage is fantastic, guys. This is 400 meters for the 50 grams. So that is probably all I will need to do the contrast. And I'll hold this with the Venetian Supersoft, and I'll hold this with the bleached white is what I will hold that with. And that will become that Rosy sweater. All right, now another one, and I've talked so much, I've got 2 sweaters made out of the combination of the Space and this Galaxy, and I have a little bit over 2 skeins, but I have about 1,200 yards, or not 1,200 yards, I've got 2 point something. It turned out to be like 1,100 yards of this with just that. And Letha has this color. So if I need another one, I can always grab it. But this is going to become something else. I'm going to hold it with Coast. Or Supersoft with the space. I'm going to make another sweater out of that. I'm also going to take that space and hold it with some mohair, and then I may hold it double. I really, really, really love that color. So I will be combining this again and having another one out of this colorway. This is the only one that I have of this. This is Lush Green, and it is the only one I have. I bought it to see if it would go with the Coast Emerald. It absolutely will, and so I have to get the rest of this. Probably around Black Friday is when I'll order some more of this, or when it goes on sale. I will wind up ordering at least 3 more balls of this so that I can hold it with the emerald green and make my Saharan V-neck out of it. This one's another one that I just got one of. It would go with several of the different ones. It would go with Divine. It would go with Hyacinth. It would go with several different ones. I don't know if I'll pull the trigger on more of this. It may just become used for a contrast color, but I wanted to get it and see the color, and it is an absolutely stunning color. And there is a Lucia that I think would go really well with this. I need to take this up to Letha's because she's got the Lucia and see if they do go together. Because if they do, I'll have to get some of that Lucia and maybe pair it with this. All right, then this right here is the Carmine, and I will hold this with that red Coast that I told you that I bought Titicaca to go with to make a sweater out of. And I have either 4 or 5 of these. I don't remember if I bought 5 or if I bought 4. 1,600 should be plenty, but I may have bought 5. And then the other one that I did the same thing with is this Passion, which is the blue that goes with that cobalt. And again, it's either 4 or 5. I just don't remember which I bought. All right, then another one that I bought, I know I bought 5 of these. And this is, it doesn't actually go with anything. This is Gladiola. And this says that it goes with magenta. I'm not holding it with magenta. There is an alpaca one by Sayer that is a perfect match for magenta, and that's what I'm going to hold it with. But this is a fantastic match with one of the Woolly Knits yarns that I have, and I will hold it with that. Or if I decide that I don't want to do that, I will order 5 more and I will hold this double. All right, this one is another one that I got just to see, and this one goes with the cranberry, and it is really, really pretty. If I decide I want to carry something with the cranberry when I get ready to use it, I will go ahead and pull the trigger and get at least 3 more of these. The same goes with this one. This goes with the sapphire. It also goes with, there's another one up there that it goes really well with, and this is Dragonfly. I do believe, I think Letha may have gotten this color, so I could pick some more up from her if I need it. And if she did in fact get it, I'm trying to think of what color she got. If she did get it, I'll probably grab a couple more of those. That's not the one that goes with sapphire. This is the one that goes, well, no, I think this one goes with sapphire. This one goes with something else. But this I also bought just to see, and this is the Pegasus. And I will tell you, I think that these two would be pretty marled up together. So that might be something that's in my future. I don't know. This one, it is beautiful. It's just not my color. I'm not crazy about it. So I don't know if I'll ever buy another one of these. This may just sit back there on my shelf looking pretty until I no longer think it's gorgeous, and then I will destash it or give it away or do something. But you never know. Might wind up making something out of it. These next two I bought, I told you that I bought the Titicaca to go with the lime. This is that. Won't that be gorgeous? And I do have, it's either 4 or 5 of these in order to hold with the lime, and I absolutely am going to do that. And then the one that I got to go with the lemongrass is called Margarita, and this definitely leans more yellow than what I would normally wear. I don't love yellow. I don't like yellow at all. But I do think that's kind of pretty. Now, it does lean more yellow than I thought it was going to. So I haven't ruled it out. Maybe I'll get on the butter yellow train and I have one ready to go. But I do plan on holding this with lemongrass and making something. And we'll see, maybe a cardigan, because I think that I would like this in a cardigan better than I would like it in a pullover, because I can take it off and on. I only have one of these, and this is French feeling. I do plan on buying at least 3 more of these, maybe 4 more, because I want to hold this with one of the, I don't know where it is, but anyway, the coast that is just stunning with this. I do plan on holding that together. I have 10 balls of this one, and this one is Purple Rose. And I plan on holding this double and making, it's a Samantha Guerin sweater. I don't remember the name of it, but I plan on holding it double and making that. In hers, she held the Yak lace double, so that will just be a perfect sub. So this is going to become a cabled sweater, and it's a V-neck. It is stunning. Then I have this Amazon, and I did pick up some more of this from Letha, so I have 3 that I know of, and I plan on holding this with the Kingfisher and doing something with that, and I may pick up 1 more to make 4. This is the one that was missing. This was the bad boy. This is Midnight, and it does say, I believe on the website, that those 2 would go together. I do not like that, so I'm hoping I'm wrong. But this is Midnight. I do really, really like this, and I have plans to hold this double, and I will probably do something that calls for Yak lace held double, and I will just use this. And then I have 3 more. 2 I've talked about a little bit. This one I've already shown you, which I'm going to hold with this to do that sweater that calls for the Haya and the Titicaca, and I am going to make it with this, and this colorway is silver gray. I do really, really like this. This is a color that I really, really like. And I'm just going to hold it with that, do what I need to do. I may wind up buying some more of this to hold double. We'll see. I'm not committed to anything, but I do really, really like this color. And then finally, I have 2 other ones. This one I do have, I think it's 5. It may only be 4, but this one I'm holding with the fauna for Shauna's sweater that y'all have seen on the podcast, the Saharan V-neck. And so this will be hers, and this will be mine, and we will just go walking along, and we'll both be in green. Won't that be cute as we're on a girls' trip wearing matching sweaters? Ah, yes, it will. Just like when Michelle, Teresa, and I went to Costa Rica, and we wore matching sweaters. So I don't mind making them. All right, and then last but not least, this is the one I'm going to hold with Kingfisher. I don't know why I said this one. I don't know what I'm holding this with. Maybe this is Kingfisher, and maybe this is something else. I know that I did, I know what I did. This is Emerald. I think I bought this to see because it said that lush green or emerald would go with emerald. I don't like this. This one I just don't like. I'm not going to do anything with it. It's just going to sit back there and look pretty until I decide that I don't like it anymore. But I will not be buying any more of this. It's a beautiful color. It really is. It's a pretty green. It's got a little bit of a hint of blue. It's a pretty color. It is not my color. That would completely wash me out. So I will not be using that. But it is really pretty, and it does look pretty in my stash. All right, so that is it. That is all of my Holst Garn. I have no idea how long this video is because it's in pieces, so we'll see how long it is when I put it together. Thank y'all for hanging out with me and letting me show off my Holst Garn collection because, guys, I love talking about yarn. In case y'all have not figured that out, yarn is my passion. I love yarn, and I love talking about it. I love talking about Holst Garn. So, if y'all enjoyed this and y'all would like to see more of my stash, let me know which brand you would like to see me do this with next. There is not another brand that I have this extensive of a collection of, but there are other brands that I have quite a lot of. And then there are some that I'm like, okay, so I have enough to do like maybe 10 minutes on, and I could combine some brands about that. But I have enough to do a video of knitting for Olive. I have woolly knits. I have the yarns I've gotten at Woolly Yarn, Woolly Yarn, and those are all different yarns. Those are dead stocks. I probably have enough Cascade to do. Trying to think of what other brand. I have enough drops that I could do a video on drops. Now, I haven't knit out of all of them. I haven't knit out of all of these other brands. I have knit some out of Knitting for Olive and some drops. I've not knit anything out of Woolly Knit. I've knit stuff out of the Woolly Yarn stuff. So I could definitely show you some examples of most of it. All right, so just let me know if you liked this and you want to see more. Let me know which brand you'd like me to showcase next. And eventually I will do like a stash organization video or something like that. But I really thought my stash is so large that it would be overwhelming trying to do everything in one video. So I thought that this might be a better way for y'all to be able to see my stash. All right, well, let me know what you thought. Thanks. And until I see you again, have a great knitty week. And guys, pray for me because I got to put this all back on those shelves before the next podcast